Welcome to the Life You Love podcast.
We're your hosts, Grace Lemire
and Erin Convertini.
This podcast is for the dreamers and the doers.
For the women who want to create a life they genuinely love waking up to.
We believe that life's short, so let's build one we love.
If you've been following me on socials, you might have seen me posting videos about my experience working with a stylist over the past month. And we just wrapped up our conversation with my stylist, Diyana Collier. Since I started working with her, I knew we needed to bring her onto the podcast. Diyana honestly worked magic on my wardrobe, and I feel so much better about putting outfits together and just building a more kind of elevated wardrobe for my day-to-day life. So that's what we're talking about in this conversation, and I think you guys are really going to love it.
I've been so excited for this episode. It's kind of like a long time coming. We had some like scheduling issues, some just like crazy things happening on the days we were supposed to schedule and then had to reschedule. And I have been like so excited for this one because also on my socials, people know that earlier this year, and I've talked about it on the podcast, I got a color analysis done. Then I like went through my wardrobe, and now I'm going to be going through my wardrobe again, but being like cutthroat about it in preparation for moving. And just like, I don't know, I feel like you hit this point in your 20s, at least for me, where I'm like, I really need to get my style together. Like I'm going to things, I'm going on dates, I'm going to events, I'm hanging out with my friends, doing things. And I'm just like, I don't love how my outfit looks. And it can be really hard to figure out like where to start, what does my wardrobe need? And it can be so overwhelming because like your confidence is impacted and your mindset. And there's just like, you're looking at a closet full of stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, like where do I start? And I feel like she just provided so many like practical tips, and also just in such like a positive way of like, it's going to be a journey, but we're going to get through it and we're going to make your wardrobe look good. It was really good, really, really good episode.
I was definitely in the same boat before I started working with her, where I had so many clothes in my closet, but I would literally, before I had to leave the house, I would just stand there staring at my closet, being like, okay, I know there's clothes here, but how do I put them together and how do I put them onto my body in a way that looks cohesive? And I feel like we all have Pinterest boards saved with like outfit inspo and Pinterest girls that we want to look like in terms of clothing, and I could just never recreate it and put those Pinterest boards like into reality, even though, again, despite having literally a closet full of clothing. And working with Diyana has literally changed my life. I'm not even kidding. We only worked together for a month, but I feel exponentially better after working with her. We did want to get this episode out like kind of around fall time, which it still is fall, obviously, but I feel like fall is a really good time for like learning more about clothing and kind of building your wardrobe too, because fall and winter, a lot of the pieces are pretty versatile. Like the pieces you wear in the fall, you can also wear in the winter, add a jacket, whatever. So I feel like this is a really good time for this episode. We did have a lot of scheduling nightmares though. We were supposed to do this a couple of weeks ago and I literally had to cancel it the day of because I gave myself a concussion and I was in the ER.
Yeah.
Which is so frustrating. So we wanted to get this out like early fall, but things got moved around a little bit. So it's still October. We're still good. Or maybe November when this episode comes out. But I think regardless, you guys are really going to love this conversation with Diyana. So let's get into it. Diyana, welcome to the Life You Love podcast. We are so excited for today's episode. We already gave everyone an introduction into who you are and what you do, but we want to hear it from you. So can you introduce yourself to everyone listening?
Hey everyone, I'm Diyana. I'm so glad to be here. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm a wardrobe stylist. I focus on look curation, and I really started this. I tell people all the time that fashion has always been like thing since I was younger. Like my mom always used to say, oh, Diyana has a passion for fashion. That was her thing. And at first I didn't think that this was going to be something that I was going to get into. So to make a long story short, I went to college. And I was like, oh, like I need to pick a major and something that's going to be a good job. Because prior to when I was in high school, I had like my own clothing brand. I had like it was called Damsels in Distress. I used to take people's jeans from them and then I rip them up and then I give them back. And then that opened up like me having a whole clothing line, which I loved it. Like I loved it so much. But I was like, when I got to college, it kind of started getting a little bit overwhelming. And I was like, dang, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And then I had to focus on like picking a major. So I thought that I was going to be a marketing girly, a specialization in supply chain management. I don't know if y'all have ever taken accounting 1, but I'm sorry. The C+ that I got in accounting was an A++ to me because I was like, I cannot do this anymore. Like I need to go back to the drawing board, figure out what I like. So once I changed my major, I still kept the marketing as my minor, as like my plan B, but I changed my major to fashion merchandising, and that like opened it up. So I was able to get an internship with the local stylist. Her name is Lauren Draffin. And that really showed me like, this can be a career. Like I can do what I love. I can make a great living. I can have a full life. So that's where Looks by Diyana started. Shortly after the internship, I became an assistant. And then after me being an assistant and just getting the confidence of doing this on my own, that's when Looks by Diyana started. So I love her. I call my business her. I love her. That's my girl. And I love my clients.
And for a little bit of context, I met Diyana at an event here in Nashville. We were just kind of like networking and standing in a small circle, and she was obviously dressed super cute, and she was saying that she's a stylist. And I was like, wait, I really need your help. Because if you follow me on socials, you know, I talk all the time about how I don't know how to dress myself. Not anymore, because Diyana and I have worked together.
Me and
she
Erin
taught
have
me
been in the lab.
Yeah, we've been in the lab. The lab is in my closet. She
Yep.
came to my apartment a couple different times and helped me build the looks, and we went shopping and all the things, and it was literally the best experience ever. And that's why I knew that we needed to bring you on for today's episode. But can you kind of talk through like getting started with personal styling and, you know, maybe like your first couple of clients that you started with and some of like your initial learnings from like why people come to seek out a stylist and how you can help them?
Yeah, so I have always been the stylish friend. I've always been the stylish. I'm the only girl. So I have two older brothers. So I've always been very glitzy glam, getting dressed in the morning. So I've done it for my friends and family, but then kind of taking on clients. My first client was, her name is Jalea. She was in a beauty pageant at our school. So it's my very first time working with someone that's outside of my family and friends. We developed a friendship shortly after that, but that was my first client that I ever had. And that's when I kind of opened up Looks by Diyana like on its own. It was great. She won the pageant. She looked great. Shortly after that, I had like people like, can you do this? Or, hey, I need to be styled for this. Or, hey, can we do this? Or, hey, I'm doing this. And then it started to turn into, because one of my classes that I took was like an editorial class. So we had to put together photo shoots. So I used to be the birthday girl. Every time somebody had a birthday, they wanted me to style them for their birthday. So I did a lot of photo shoots. Then it kind of like trickled down into doing more personal styling. I'm a people's person and I am a yapper. I will talk. So then it started to getting a little bit more personal. And the majority of my clients, they mostly say the same thing. Like, I need somewhere to start at. I want to elevate my looks. I have clothes. I just don't really know what to put with them, or I don't even know how to have my wardrobe versatile. So what I try to do, of course, yes, I'm going to help you put together your looks and put together your outfits, but I also want you to learn at the same time, because you're not going to have me forever. So there's some takeaways that I like to give with my clients, whether it's just like simple little hacks or something like that. And the personal piece is great because I really, really do love the genuine connection that I have with my clients. And I feel like because we have great connections together, that helps them feel a little bit more confident about what they're doing. Like they'll text me, hey, like I'm going this place, or what do you think about this? And I'll text them back, or I'll give out some suggestions. I don't know, but I'll send you this link to this. So I love the personal piece of it.
Why do you think that so many women struggle with their wardrobe? Because like, so as you're talking, I mean, I watched Erin's like story or like videos and stuff kind of documenting the process too, and I was like, Lord, I need to do this. Like, I'm about to move, so I'm going to sell like half my wardrobe. So like once I move, like I need to do something like this, because I lost my fashion sense and like have not located it. And I really, when I put together outfits, I feel like I just don't know how to put them together, and I feel like I get so frustrated. And I've talked about that on social media too, and I know Erin has, and so many women relate. They're like, yeah, I have nothing to wear despite having like a closet of clothes, you know, or they're just like putting outfits on. And for me, I'm always like, why don't I look like the girls on Pinterest? Like I'm putting on similar things, but it's just not giving what I want it to. Why do you think so many women are like frustrated with their closets and like, you know, just feel frustrated by getting dressed as a whole?
Well, first, when you move, make sure you book a look, because we can do some virtual sessions.
Girl, I will.
And second, I feel like when it comes to personal style or wanting to, I call it reinventing yourself, essentially is what it is. When you're reinventing, you're looking at it as a really big picture instead of the things that go into the picture. So I kind of describe it as like an umbrella. People think personal style is a big umbrella, but they're not necessarily paying attention to the things that fall under. So that could be changing out colors, different silhouettes, finding what works with your body type. Like it's not a race. It's definitely a marathon. And I think that some people think like in a day, I'm just going to get my style together. Like over time, you build up your pieces, whether that's casuals or you need more accessories. I think it's because we put so much pressure on ourselves too. Like my gosh, I feel like I have to have this. And then maybe my style will be perfect. But it's an ongoing thing. You're going to learn things about yourself and just focus. My biggest advice would be to focus on one thing that you want to change in the month. So let's say this month, okay, I really want to focus on putting together pieces really well. So what does that look like? Maybe I'm going to layer some pieces, add some dimension to my outfit. Cool. Well, I don't have anything to layer with. Then you can put on a notepad. I need to get more layering pieces. I need to get more capsule pieces. I need to get more basics so that you can work your way up to looking just like the girl on the Pinterest board. So she has all her basics. And I think it's also too just evaluating your gaps in your wardrobe too. And I don't think we realize that when we buy things, we don't necessarily think about our purchases. And that's another reason why we kind of find ourselves feeling like, well, I don't have anything to wear, because you don't really have any purpose for your clothes, if that makes sense. So I always feel like every time you go shopping, at least ask yourself, what is something in my wardrobe that I can wear with this right now? Like if I had to put this shirt on right now, do I have pants? Do I have the shoes to match? Do I have a nice bag? Like if you're wearing, I love matching brown boots and a brown bag together. So, oh my gosh, I love these brown boots. Do you have a matching brown bag? Okay, let's start just taking off small pieces instead of biting off a really big chunk when it comes to your personal wardrobe. I think that would be the biggest thing.
I know for me, it was so incredibly helpful to have a second set of eyes on my closet, because that was part of our like time working together, was that you came into my closet a couple of times and kind of like helped me pick out outfits based on what I already had. And then we did a shopping session, and then we did a second closet session where you built looks based off of the pieces I had and then also the pieces that we purchased together. And I definitely went from always feeling like even though I had a million pieces of clothing in my closet, I never had anything to wear, to really knowing how to be intentional about like finding those gaps and then shopping specifically for the gap. And I think that this is like a really overlooked piece, and it's a no cost piece, but you really emphasize the importance of like seeing everything in your closet, which like sounds so intuitive, but like my closet gets really messy and it's like not super organized and I can never really find anything. But like when you can actually see everything, I like hung up my jeans all nice. I like make sure everything, like I can see everything when I open my closet. And now it's so much easier to get dressed even with that like small little tweak that you don't even have to spend money on. But that's like a really good, at least first step before you go out and like spend aimlessly.
Yes, get in that closet so I offer individual services and packages. The packages are my favorite just because you can see a full transformation from your wardrobe. In the very first session that I have, we're going in the closet. We're reorganizing. I call it a closet edit. So we're reorganizing things in your closet. We're just making a nice place for your new wardrobe to live. We're taking things out that don't fit. If it's ratted, if it's tatted, we're taking it out. If you haven't worn it in 2 years, we're taking it out, because if you haven't worn it in 2 years, you're not going to wear it. And that really, really kind of gets the motion going. And then it goes into building those looks, because now you basically kind of have a clean slate of what your wardrobe could be, because you took out all the junk and you organize it to something that makes sense for you. So it can be by color, it can be by sleeve length, but seeing your clothes is the biggest thing that's really, really important, because also too, when you're going to do shopping, I already have 3 pairs of jeans that look just like this. I don't need another one. So
when you're looking at your closet, I know a couple times we've mentioned the idea of identifying gaps. Can you talk about like what is a gap in the wardrobe, or like what should, I guess this is like a two-part question. Like how do you identify gaps in your wardrobe / like what things should like almost everyone just have like in their wardrobe?
everyone should have a white button up. Everyone should have a white
I don't
button
have one, and you told me that.
We are going to get you one. We are going to get you one. Also, your outfits have been looking so good lately.
Thank you.
Yes. I really like the white dress, and then you layered it with the vest and the belt.
Thank you.
That was really cute.
Thank
But
you.
yes, so definitely a white button up and a white tank. White button ups, they look good by themselves, but they are a great layering piece, especially for the fall. And identifying gaps, I think you have to look at your basics. And it doesn't even have to be like the same white shirt or the same brown shirt or the same black shirt. It can have cuts. It can be cute as long as it can create more than one outfit in your closet. So it's literally just a solid color, but the cut of it can be different. You can have a one shoulder top. That's technically a basic, because you can add a whole bunch of things with it, not just wearing it by itself. Another way to identify gaps in your wardrobe, also just evaluating the things that you don't wear. Like, it's just taking up space. It's taking up space. I also like really like to tell people, go back in your closet and look at the things that you have compared to your Pinterest board. You're saving these pins for a reason because you like something about them. So does your Pinterest board reflect what's in your closet? If not, then let's talk about how we can rework that and kind of see, okay, maybe it's back then you really like skinny jeans. You don't like skinny jeans. You like straight leg jeans, or you like a slim slate straight leg jean. It feels like a skinny, but it's not a skinny. It's a little bit more trendier. It's relaxed. You like that. So I think it's also too just figuring out, what do you like now and what do you not like now, because that'll also help you evaluate the gaps. And you won't buy things that you know you're not going to wear. Like, I hate the color orange. You won't see orange in my closet. Actually, that's a lie. I have one orange shirt. It's a button up, and I do like it. And I do like that shirt. But other than that, I don't like the color orange. It looks beautiful on me, but I just, So I really don't have anything orange in my closet.
Then you won't wear it. But I really like the tip about like looking at what you have versus what your Pinterest boards are, because I think we see a lot that says like buy based off of your Pinterest boards, but like starting with your actual closet and being like, okay, here's my Pinterest board, here's what's in my closet, and like where are the gaps, and like then maybe potentially go out and spend.
Yeah.
But I feel like for the longest time I was not focusing enough on basics because the capsule wardrobe was just feeling like so sad and beige and boring to me. And I was like, I gotta get some color in here. I gotta like, but capsule pieces don't necessarily have to make a boring outfit. And that was a lot what you helped me work on, was like, okay, even if it's a plain white t-shirt, this plain white t-shirt, you're probably not going to wear it on its own. It's going to go under a sweater with a collar sticking out, or it's going to go under that button up shirt, and let's add some necklaces to make it more exciting. So it doesn't have to be boring, even though it's like a boring piece, but I was missing a lot of those basics in my closet.
And honestly, too, with a capsule wardrobe, yes, it is those like neutral colors, and you definitely can throw in like olive greens. You can throw in blues. I think the best thing about capsule wardrobes is it's not only just about the color, but it's also, again, about how many times can you wear the same thing over and over and over again, to where it feels like, dang, I've worn this shirt 3 times today, or three times this week. Like, it's not like that or anything like that, but yeah, definitely making sure that your clothes have like a good like cycle with the capsule pieces. And they don't have to be boring. Like, it can, like I said, it can be like a one shoulder top. It can be something that's like off the shoulder. I kind of call them like, not dressier basics, but like elevated basics. So it's not just a simple like black shirt. Like today, the shirt that I have on today, it's pink, but it has like an asymmetrical cut down the side. It's literally a pink shirt, but super cute cut. It can work well with shorts, jeans, skirts, stuff like that.
So when you're like looking, okay, you mentioned color and like the cut of things. So when you're, let's say I'm going shopping and I'm like looking at things that are in the store, what factors should I be considering? Of course, color. I went and did a color analysis this year, and like that was really fascinating. I'm not wearing something in my colors today, but it was really cool and like fascinating to just see like what brings out the color of my eyes and my skin and like my natural features and things like that. So like, to me, when I'm shopping, I look at color, but I also recently, for example, I always thought I had a square body shape or like rectangle, but a stylist who's a friend actually told me that I look more hourglass, and I sent her my measurements and she was like, yeah, I think you're more hourglass. So then I'm like, well, shoot, I've been buying stuff that's would flatter a rectangle body shape. So no wonder. And then every time I put it on, I'd be like, I look so boxy. Why do I look boxy? I don't want to look boxy. It's because I was dressing for the wrong body type. So how do you know, like, when you're looking at a piece in a store, like what should you be paying attention to know if it's like a good investment? Like the color, the cut, the, material, and like how do you know if it's going to flatter you and like fit in your wardrobe?
So how to know that it's going to flatter you, I think that's just really trying on the clothes, seeing what it feels like. How does it look? Do you like the way that it looks on you? Based on your body type. And I think sometimes people think, oh my God, I can't wear that because I don't have this body type. You definitely can. You just have to use it to your advantage. If that's what you want to wear, then try to find other ways to style it. Like, for example, let's say you don't have an hourglass body shape, but you want to wear a really cute bodycon dress or a really cute skirt, and you feel like, I can't wear that because that's not according to my body type. No, just throw on a cute little biker jacket with it, and that's going to be flattering. Anything that you put a jacket on, it instantly gives an illusion that your waist is smaller. So I think that's a big thing, just putting on the clothes and seeing how it feels. I'm a very big fabric girl, Anything that is mostly polyester, that's made up of polyester, chances are that it's not gonna last as long in your closet. Definitely looking at stuff that are like cotton blends or wool blends, cashmere if it's affordable for you. Fabrics are a big one because if you think about it, cost per wear, yeah, like okay, I really didn't want to spend that much on the sweater. However, this is a basic. I'm gonna wear this 5 million times and it's gonna hold up in the wash. It's not gonna bleed. My biggest pet peeve is when clothes bleed on each other in the washer. Like that is very irritating. I hate that. So definitely look at the quality, the stitching on it. And I'm like, you don't have to go in the racks and be like, okay, does this have good stitching on here? Let me look through the needles. Like you don't have to do that. But if it looks like it's going to be a piece that's going to hold up well, I definitely think that you should buy it. Or basics, don't be afraid to spend just a little bit on your basics because again, cost per wear, you're going to get so much use out of it. So by the time you think about it, and you do another closet edit, let's say you do a closet edit in 6 months from now, you can be like, man, she's had her good days. She's had her good days. I need to replace this because you're wearing your clothes. I think you asked me something else about, it was something else that you asked. I think, did I touch everything on that?
I think you did. Yeah, I think you got everything.
Yeah. So just
So
the clothes.
yeah, I guess going off of that, do you have any like rules of thumb or just like generally speaking, what you prefer to splurge on versus what you prefer to save on when it comes to clothes? Like, are there certain things where you're like, I would definitely go more budget friendly on these articles of clothing because I like to splurge on these, or vice versa?
So I am the type of person where I will splurge on accessories. I'll splurge on jewelry. I'll
Interesting.
splurge on handbags. I'll splurge on shoes. I'm in my Carrie Bradshaw era right now, guys. And my heels collection, it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. So I'm definitely a shoe girl now. I would say that, repeat your question for me one more time. I just want to make sure that I'm.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like, or even like not your personal preference, but like when you're working with clients and if they're saying like, I don't want to splurge on everything, maybe like some areas I want to save so that I can like afford to get more pieces into my wardrobe. Do you have any kind of like general rules of thumb?
So I always say that things like denim, it's a great investment because you wear jeans all the time. Everybody wears jeans. And then the thing about it is wearing jeans, you have to do it in the store. Buying jeans online is so frustrating unless you know the fit. But also, too, you want to make sure that you, like, have you ever just put on a pair of jeans and you're like, ooh, like, I look good. Like, I like these. That is the feeling that you should get when you wear your clothes. Like, all of your pieces should be special pieces to you. And I think jeans are a great example for that. You don't have to necessarily, like, break the bank on a pair of jeans. But, like, Good American, they have really good jeans, not super expensive, but they're also not cheap. The price point on them to me is pretty well, and they're a really flattering pair of jeans, and I really like them as compared to something that's like rag and bone jeans that are like $300. The price points are different, but it's still a well-made pair of jeans. Tops, I would say you don't have to. If you don't have to splurge as much on tops, I probably wouldn't. Me personally, I don't really spend that much unless it's something that I specifically need the top for. But I would definitely say things that are worth the splurge are any denim, any type of workwear pieces. Investing in a great blazer also can like turn your mood like that. Like a great blazer, I call blazers and button ups your power pieces. And so that's just a piece that you put on. And you're like, man, I feel good. Like try to splurge on the things that you, when you wear it, you're like, dang, I don't care who's in this room. I'm in this room and I look good. I look really, really good. I always say when you look good, you do good. When you do good, you're unstoppable. So as long as you look good, and you're going to have the best day ever.
I love that. Yeah, I think like jeans, pants, jackets, and
Mhm.
shoes would be my splurges, but then like tops, sweaters, accessories are generally areas where I'm like, okay, I'll save because like I'm probably going to wear them a million times and then like they might get a little gross regardless. So I can like kind of switch them out every so often. But yeah, that was super helpful.
I know you kind of talked a little bit about like, for example, like blazers giving you that like power energy or like having certain pieces that just like make you feel, you know, more confident. I think one thing that always comes up is people want to look elevated without necessarily spending like a bajillion dollars. And I know that was something that going back to what we were talking about with the looking at your Pinterest board, If you saw my closet, you would literally have a heart attack. It's actually horrific, like so bad. And I need to just like throw the whole thing away and start fresh. Not the whole thing. But one thing I realized when I was comparing, for example, like my Pinterest board versus what I have is I'm like, I noticed that all of the photos, all the girls would have a lot of like chunky gold jewelry.
Mhm.
And I would realize I wear like teeny tiny little dainty necklaces that you can't see it in a picture. So I was like, well, that's probably why they look so like rich and elevated, is because they have like, you know, this jewelry on. But I know in one of Erin's videos, she mentioned a tip that you had, and it really stuck with me. And I try to do it all the time.
Mhm.
And I think, and you can let me know if I'm incorrect, but I think it was like a minimum of 3 accessories
Yes,
with
the
every outfit.
three-piece
So like,
rule.
yeah, do you have any other tips for like making your look, your outfit in general, like look more elevated so that you like, yeah, maybe you are just wearing like basics, but you're like, when someone sees you, they're like, oh yeah, like that girl's outfit, like she has it together,
Yeah.
she looks good, I want to look rich. That's what I always say. I want to look rich, you know, but I'm
And
not right
that
now.
is so achievable with accessories. Accessories are very slept on because it literally will take your outfit from a 2 to a 10. From a 2 to a 10, it can literally make the outfit. Another thing that I really like to do is using layers or adding some type of dimension to it. Also, too, knowing proportions. So the proportion rule is that you should have 1/3. Is like the proportional rule. Not cutting your body in half, but in 1/3. So either you're gonna have a short top with longer bottoms, or you're going to have something that's shorter at the bottom but long at the top. That also looks really well. So for example, to explain that a little bit so it's not confusing, like let's say you wanted to wear like a mini flare skirt, so then you can do an oversized sweater on that. Okay, take it up a notch, add a collar shirt underneath, and then have the collar stick out of the sweater. Roll up the sleeves. So now you bring in color. So like let's say that the button up is blue and my sweater is gray. So now I just added blue to it and I can use that color and do a fun blue bag, or do some shoes that have blue in it. So tying in just different things about your outfit and kind of having them complement each other really well. That's a great way.
Can you explain more in depth the thirds thing? Like, are you talking about like physically where clothes are hitting on your body? Is that what you mean by that?
Yes. So let's say you have a high waist pair of pants. Something that would be comparable, that would look really well and complement each other, is if that you had something that's like a shorter top. Like it doesn't have to be a super crop top, but just something that hits really well so that your pants aren't over the jeans. Because now you've cut your body in half, essentially.
Okay.
That
Yeah, that makes sense. Or what about like, and then the flip side of that was if you had a shorter skirt having like a longer sweater. So that would be like the bottom third of,
So
okay.
now, so you're
And
short at the top, but you're longer. I mean, you're short at the bottom, but you're longer at the top.
and then what about low rise jeans? Like I can't for the life of me figure that one out.
Know why low rise jeans are, and I get it, like we're in our Y2K era, but I am not a
Okay,
fan
I'm
of
glad to
low.
hear you say.
I don't know, like, and I consider myself being in very good physical shape. Low rise jeans just make me feel like I have a muffin top. So I just try to
Same.
stay away from anything that's low rise. And it doesn't work for my body type. It doesn't work for my body type at all. And so, and sometimes I hear my not customers, clients, they're like I just don't look good. No, it's not that you don't look good. It's just that some things, it's not you, it's the clothes. Like, it's essentially what it is. It's like everything is not meant for everyone's body type. And that's okay. As long as you know where your strengths are, you can use that to your advantage and look your best.
Okay, I'm really happy to hear you say that. Kind of like going off of that, I would love to hear your opinion on this because I heard this a while ago and it like so stuck with me, and I actually do think that it has helped my personal style. I think I saw it on like TikTok or something. It was saying your desire to always look your smallest is killing your personal style, and I think like I used to definitely do that. Like, okay, well, I'm going to wear a super tight shirt because that's going to make me look smaller than like a super oversized like baggy sweater or baggy top. But I feel like all of the styles now and like my Pinterest board, the girls are all wearing super baggy things. So do you have any tips there on kind of like how to get out of like the, okay, it's fine, we can wear like super oversized stuff and we can do it in a way that's still going to like make us look styled and put together?
Yes. So I'm 5'1", And so this baggy trend, I love hopping into it, but it looks like I'm wearing my older brother's clothes. So I have to dress to my body type because I am a small girl and I can do those baggy pieces. I'll do like a baggy pant, something that's like a bigger and like a wide leg pant, but then I'll wear something that's a little bit more form fitting at the top. I'm still participating in the trend, but if I'm wearing baggy at the top and baggy at the bottom, I literally look like a homeless person. Like, it's not gonna work. Someone's gonna be like, what are you wearing and why are you wearing that? So I definitely think just having a little bit of, just be flexible, like making trends you, like we can all still do like the baggy trend, but not everything has to be fat baggy because that's really not appealing to your shape. But just find, like, you can do a super oversized sweater, real cute. Maybe just do a skinnier pant, maybe leggings underneath and a boot. I mean, we're still working with the trends, but yeah, just we don't have to go all the way.
How do you know, like, I don't know if this is like a question that's easy to answer or not, but how do you know what your body shape is? Like, how do you find that out? Because I used like an online calculator thing and I like input my measurements and then it came out wrong. So I wonder, like, how do people know what their body shape is so that they know how to dress to that body shape?
I think the easiest way to kind of determine that is looking at things that are like your waist and your bust. If you're more top heavy, then at the bottom, it's not coming to my mind right now which body type that is, but then that's something that you consider. Or let's say that you're more a rectangle, so you want to, and not saying that you can't wear anything that's like, you can't wear anything that's flattering to your shape because you're a rectangle. No, just add belts. And that will instantly make it have an illusion that you have a waist and you're just creating your waist with clothes. Or like I said, with jackets, that makes you look like you have a small waist. If you're more bottom heavy than top heavy, then wearing some pieces that have more structure in the shoulders that kind of gives you some nice clean lines. That's really good. If you're hourglass body type, that just means that your waist is the smallest part of your body compared to your hips, compared to your bust. So you're pretty much proportioned pretty well. So anything that are like, that are thinner fabrics are going to be really nice and a flattering to your waist. Or wearing things that are tighter, it just naturally just goes with your body type. I think that's two ways. Just kind of evaluate, okay, am I more top heavy or more bottom heavy? And then you can evaluate that, what your body type is. Or is my waist the smallest part of my body? But yeah, me, I'm very proportionate. I'm the same at the top, same at the bottom. I wouldn't say that I'm a rectangle. I would say I'm more of a triangle. I feel like I'm more of a triangle. My waist is still smaller, but I don't have a super hourglass figure. But yeah, just evaluating if you're top heavy, bottom heavy, and what is your hips to ratio. Hips.
That's super helpful. And I think that that can definitely help like make the shopping process a lot easier. I want to talk about trends for a second because I think like, especially since we talk a lot about money on this podcast, trends are definitely seen as like, don't spend money on trends because anything that's in trend right now is going to be out of trend next season or whatever. Do you have kind of like any guidance there on like how to know if a trend is worth spending money on, or is it all like personal preference, or what is your kind of like how do you go about
I
trends?
think it's personal preference. I definitely would suggest that if you're going to explore with trends, so for example, like the leopard print, which is actually so funny because every winter I have a series called Style Guide, and we talk literally everything that we talked about right now. I talk about in the episode, so like shopping and basics and body types and all that stuff. I say that also say I called it that cheetah print was going to be in because it's everywhere. So if you're wanting to explore a trend, try to do it in an affordable way. And then when you're like, oh, okay, like I think I can do this, then take off. Get whatever you want within that trend, leopard print. So, I mean, I know a lot of places that, which are fast fashion places, they normally are kind of up to date with the trend, just their trend analysis thing. So I would probably start there. And if you wanted to start off with like a cute leopard print mini skirt. I love this mini skirt. I really like it. I tried out the trend. This is great. Okay, I know that, I think it's Celine. Celine has a leopard print mini skirt. That's, a pretty penny, but you know that you like the trend. You've worn the skirt a while, so then you can take it up a notch further and be like, okay, I'm willing to invest in this trend. So I would say start off small, figure out if you like it, and find something that's affordable, and just play around with it. Because at the end of the day, you only live one life. So let's just while doing it.
I've heard a lot of people say too, like to try a trend on a belt. Cause you know, like the red, like that specific red color
Hmm.
that's like trending right now. I love that red. I think it's amazing. And I saw a video, someone was saying, like, try it in, yeah, something small, like a belt or earrings or like a ballet flat.
Yep. I was
Or
just going
like,
to say,
yeah, like a little purse or like something that
yep.
that is small before you go for like those like knee-high red boots that like everyone's wearing, that there's a pair that's like a couple $100s, and then there are some that are like more budget friendly. But
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I should definitely, because I love that red, but it's because it's like it's in right now. Am I gonna like that red always? Like kind of experimenting. I do have like somewhat of a like a random question, I guess. I feel like I'm like skipping around. But I when I went through my closet, the thing I thought when I was looking at it was I was like, do I just simply not have enough clothes? Like I'm going to make outfits, and for example, I would have a cute outfit, I'd put on a pair of sneakers that I own, and I'd be like, yeah, these sneakers just like ruin the look, but they're the only pair of sneakers I have. Or like I put on like this sandal, but I only have two pairs of sandals. So neither sandal looks right, great, you know, or like basics. Like I have a couple basics, but they're just like plain tees. And so I sat there looking at my closet being like, do I just simply not have enough clothes? Like, do the people who look really stylish just have larger wardrobes? And I posted about it, and a lot of people agreed, and they were like, yeah, I feel like I just never have like the right stuff. Is there a certain amount of clothing you find like to be like a good space? Like when people have like a great set of basics, do they have a lot of basics? Like, what is that? Is there like a number game to it? You know, how many pairs of jeans is a good number of jeans or shoes?
With basics, I would say that as long as it's versatile, so you should have something short, you should have something long, you should have something as a layering piece, you should have something that works well with other pieces in your wardrobe. So I say, and this is another thing that I tell my clients too when we're doing our closet edit, if you can't style it three ways in your closet, then 9 times out of 10, either let it go, or that means that we just need to find more things that can go with this piece if you really, really like it and you don't want to give it up. So I would say that with what you have right now, like based on what's in your wardrobe, if you find that like, okay, I have like two pairs of sandals and I can only really wear these sandals with maybe three things, then that's kind of one of those things, kind of like what we were talking about, identifying gaps. Put in your little notes. I call it the wish list in my notes. I need to get more sandals. I'm looking for a brown pair of sandals so that when you do go shopping, or because you know our phones listen to us now, and a brown sandal just pops up on your Instagram ad, you're like, ooh, let me get that because I need that. And I know that I'm going to wear it, but I just don't have what I need to wear with it. So I definitely think that if you're looking to, I guess, wanting to buy more clothes because you feel like you don't have enough, think about, can you style this three ways in your closet? And if not, that'll basically give you your answer
I
about the amount
love,
of clothes.
yeah, I love that advice because I'm thinking about my closet right now, and I'm literally thinking I don't know which items I have that I could style three ways. Like I think they're just like plain tees, but I have so many things that I don't think I could style more than three ways. I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, that's bad. But I think when I had posted about it online, and I know like for myself, I've had a lot of guilt about getting rid of clothes that I don't wear because I'm
Mm,
like, oh, well, like I bought it, you know, like I spent money on that at one point,
yeah.
but now I don't wear it. Or now I look at it and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't fit my fashion sense at all anymore. Like that, I bought it once because I liked it and it was trending at the moment, or that was what my style was at the moment, but now that's not my style anymore. And I think a lot of people relate to that, or they're looking at something where they're like, yeah, maybe that was an impulse buy, and I actually don't know how to style that like at all. Or like it's just sitting in the back of my closet and I'm never wearing it because I don't have things to go with it. And I really don't care to buy things to go with it because it's just not my favorite piece. But I think like part of curating, like what I'm getting from this conversation is part of curating a closet that you actually like is just being honest with yourself about what you do wear and what you don't wear and what you like and what you don't like, and just being
Yeah.
like, you know what, I'm just gonna get rid of the things that I don't wear because ultimately I'm
Just
just doing
rip that
myself a
band-aid off.
disservice,
Just
yeah,
rip
by
that
leaving it
band-aid.
there. Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard, especially like, oh my gosh, like I bought this dress and it still has the tags on it. I've never worn it. Baby, you don't like that dress. You never liked it if you didn't wear it and the tags are still on it. So yes, that is a hurdle to kind of get over. But again, you're thinking about this, okay, self, we got to do better. And this is not what I want in my closet. So give it to somebody else, give it to your friends, take it to Goodwill, sell it. I do have a rule with my clients though that once we do a closet edit, by the time that the next time that I come back, everything that we said that we were getting rid of has to be gone. Has to be gone. I don't want to hear, oh well, my cat, and the cat really just, the cat had to go for a walk, and so after the walk I figured, man, maybe I should look at these pair of jeans again, and then that's why I kept it here. No. Because if you don't get rid of it, you're not going to get rid of it, and we're taking steps back. We're only moving forward.
It's so funny you're saying this because I moved out of my parents' house in January of this year, and I think I put this sweater in a bin to sell it on like a clothing app. And I think I actually posted the sweater on the selling app. And then when it didn't sell, I was like, maybe I should just keep it. And then I put it back on, and I don't even like how it looks on me. It's just, I only have literally 3 other sweaters besides this in my closet. So I was like, I'll wear this one, whatever, but I hold onto it for some reason. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go through my closet and I'm going to give myself a deadline and be like, no, everything has to go. Even if I just have to, I think I get obsessed with the idea of like, oh, well, I paid for it once, so I want to make money. But then when you really think about it too, on these selling, like the clothing selling apps, I just sold something the other day. I made $1.27. Like, just take it to Goodwill at that point. You know what I mean? Like, don't even, just
let the thrifters have it. Let the thrifter have it.
Well, I think we're coming up on time here. And I know this was like I mean, working with you in general was such an amazing process. And I feel like I owe you my entire life because I know so much more about clothes now and feel like I can dress myself. But do you have any kind of like last sort of like how people can work with you, or kind of like direct people to your socials or your website or anything like that? How can people learn more if they're interested?
Yes. So you can follow me on Instagram. It's _Diyana, DIYANAC. The link to my website is literally just Lewks, LEWKS by Diyana, DIYANA.com. And then you can set up a personal one-on-one with me. We'll kind of talk a little bit about, your personal style. What are you looking for? How can I help? What are you interested in? I do have a gift for everyone listening to this podcast today. If you use either Erin or Grace's name in the form that you fill out, it's going to say, is there any additional things that I need to know? If you just say their names or the podcast, you will be getting 20% off of the packages. So the package that Erin has, if you follow Erin on Instagram, she has the Looks Your Best package. So that's a 1-month package, and it's basically a 1-month revamp of your wardrobe. So we're going through your closet. We're doing that closet edit, like I mentioned before. And then we're doing a look building session. So the look building session consists of putting together outfits with pieces in your wardrobe prior to shopping, and then after we go shopping. And then we have multiple sessions like that. All of my clients have a lookbook. If you've ever seen that movie Clueless, where she's like trying to figure out what she's looking at, what she's going to wear on the computer, I essentially offer that same thing for clients, just a little bit different. It's called your lookbook. So Erin has something called Erin's lookbook, and it's just her album of all of the outfits that we curated. So on days where she's like, oh man, I have to go to this thing, I don't know what I want to wear, she has a ton of outfits in her album. And we'd also do a couple other things in that package, but I'm offering that little treat. If you guys have any questions about style or how to get in contact, you can definitely reach out to me over DM on Instagram, or you can just send an inquire on my website. I want to give one more tip. And I forgot to mention this earlier about getting dressed. Another hack for getting dressed is start from the bottom up. So figure out your shoes, your pants, tops are easy. So that's my...
Wait, that's so interesting. I never would have thought to start with my shoes. I feel like in the fall I do though, because it's like, oh, I really want to wear these cute like knee-high boots. So what am I going to wear with those? But in the spring and summer and winter, I don't know. But that's an amazing tip. Definitely follow Diyana on Instagram and reach out if you're interested. Look at her website, look at all of her different packages, because it was literally the best experience ever, and I could not recommend it enough. But Diyana, thank you so much for coming on to the Life You Love podcast. This episode was amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you. I love it here.
Thank you to everyone for tuning in, and until next.
All right.